So now let's head on to our account service implementation. Now to create, let us import let's auto wire our repository. So we can say account repository, account repository. Import mouse over it. Okay. Oh, I missed the N. Great. So just say account equals account mapper dot DTO to accounts, and then passing the account DTO. Now say account, let's say results equals so we use the account repository dot save save the account. Now we can return account mapper dot accounts to DTO, and then passing the result. That's all we need to save our accounts to our database. Nice and clean. Okay, so next we go to, there is something I want to do with this find account, because I would like to use this. Since we are connecting to our database, let's do so account equals to account repository dot find by account repository dot, I think I missed something, hold on. Account repository dot find by, this is a derived query and we can use it on the fields that we have in our database. So we have a field called account number, right? So I say find by account number and passing the account number to this. This is standard JPA, so it's not something that I invented. So just in case you are wondering, it is standard JPA. If you do this over time, you would understand this better. Or if you go read the documentation for JPA, Spring Data JPA. Underneath the hood, this is Hibernate converts this to native SQL queries, so that the database can interpret it. But that's the beauty of Spring Boot, JPA, and all of those high-level abstractions. So now we can just return account. So quickly, I'm going to create this find by account. The find by is of course a derived query. So we just create this in our repository class. So let's say create this, and that's all. So JPA understands this, and that's the power of using this should I say library or dependency. Okay, back to the account service implementation. Yeah, so this is all we need. Next thing is let us quickly update the, so whenever a debit or a credit operation occurs, we want to update our account balance, right? So let us see how to do that now. So we just go here, cut this, and say, let us call it, let's say debit. Let's just call it debit and say double debit equals this. Okay, so now let's push this up. So now we can say that just say accounts and call it result equals. So you see this that we did here, just copy this and put it here. This time around, we want this number, and now we can say result, just call this result dot set balance to debit, and now we can call the account repository dot save, and now we want to save the result. So this is going to update our account balance for us and just return this. We do the same thing for the credit ops. To save me time, I'm going to copy this. Just go here and copy this one also, but instead we call this credits. Still the same, like still this one, so I just get rid of this and say credits. Remember to change the minus to a plus, and take this credit and excuse me. Now remember to copy this and replace this, and that's all we need to do in order to update our account balance. So I'll save this, and next let us go to our payment service implementation. Okay, payment service implementation. So quickly let us auto-wire our payment repository. Payment repository. We can import this. Now okay, so once this is done, we want to save. Of course, transactions is still the most elegant way to manage this, because if something goes wrong here and this does not execute, this would have, the credit operation would have already happened. So we want to do .save our payment. Save our payment and just copy this, because that's the same thing we need for the withdrawal and for the transfer. The transfer is in 2 bits, right? So we do this part and then this part. Yeah. So that's all we need for our transfer. So quickly, let us go to our resource folder and open the properties file. Now let us write the code to connect our application now to the database. So we're going to say spring.datasource.url, and I'll put this. Remember the URL we got from our notes, we'll put that shortly. So I'll say spring.datasource.username. It says spring.datasource.password equals, and then spring.jpa.hibernate, yeah, that one, .hibernate DDL auto. Just if you enter, it's going to pick it up for you. And just say no, not true. Let's say update. There are different values for this. What I'm just saying is, whenever we connect to our database again, if we've added a new field to our entities, just update it. And so say spring.datasource jpa dot show SQL. Yeah, say true. So our username was root and the password was the URL. Let us go to our notes to get the URL. Get this one. Go here, paste this. Remember, we created this database, this schema already. So that's what we need here. There's one more thing we need, and that's the driver. Spring.data source dot driver. Let's see, driver class name. Yeah, that one. And we say, yeah, this first one, com.mysql.cj for JDBC driver. So this is what we need. So now we go to our entity and let us do some important things here. We annotate this with